Hi, the video today is on median, interquartile range, and the mode. We'll start by talking about the median. Basically, the median is the middle number of an ordered set of data. Okay, so we've got to make sure all the numbers are in order before we find the median. A useful formula to use is this one. It is the n plus 1 divided by 2 value. Now, what I mean by that is, if we know how many numbers there are in the data set, we can put that in for n, and it will tell us where the median is located. Not what the median is, but where the median is located. Here's an example of this. Looking at data set 1, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of data. So if I sub 7 in for n in that formula, I'll get 7 plus 1 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So it's the fourth value in my data set is the median. So now I can count through 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's my median. And you can see that that is definitely the median, as we've got 3 numbers either side of that 15. So it's right in the middle. So the median for data set 1 is 15. Now data set 2 has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces of data. Now if I put 8 into this formula, 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. Now this is a little bit trickier here. So 4.5 value means it's between the fourth and the fifth value. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the fourth value, and there's the fifth value. So it's between these two values here. Okay, you can see that where that line is that I've just drawn, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 values either side of that line. So the median isn't actually any of these numbers. The median is between 18 and 20. Now when this is the case, what we've got to do is add the two numbers together and divide by 2. So if I go 18 plus 20, 18 plus 20 is 38. 38 divided by 2 is 19. So 19 in this case is the median. So basically whenever we've got an odd number, so this one had 7 pieces of data, the median will fall right on a number. And whenever we've got an even number of data points, so this one had 8, the median will be between two numbers. And when it's between two numbers, just add them together and divide by 2. Interquartile range. So the interquartile range is the range of the middle 50% of the data. It is calculated by working out quartile 3, take away quartile 1. Now to work out quartile 3 and quartile 1, basically all they are is quartile 1 is the middle of the lower half of the data, so it's the median of the lower half, and quartile 3 is the middle of the upper half of the data. So in this data set, if we break it into the lower and the upper, the middle of the lower half we can see is here. So I'd call that quartile 1. And the middle of the upper half of the data, so there's 3 data points, so this is the middle of the upper half of the data, so it's quartile 3. So the interquartile range for data set 1 is 22 take away 9. Okay. For data set 2, because the line is right in the middle here, there's 4 numbers on this side, 4 numbers in this side. So what we've actually got to do here is find the middle of these 4 numbers and the middle of these 4 numbers. So the middle of these 4 numbers will be here, which is 16.5, between 16 and 17. And the middle of these 2 numbers here, between 20 and 27, what are we going to have? 23 and a half. Okay, so in other words, the interquartile range for data set 2 will be 23 and a half, take away 16 and a half, and that will be the interquartile range, which is the range. It tells us a little bit about how spread out the data is. The range is a very simple formula. It is the difference between the largest and the smallest value in the data set. So for data set 1, 30 is the largest, 9 is the smallest, 30 take away 9 is the range. And data set 2, 35 is the largest, 8 is the smallest, 35 take away 8 would be the range. So pretty straightforward, but again, is something that we can use to talk about how spread out the data is. These two here are used quite a bit in talking about how spread out our data is. Finally, the mode, it's the data value that occurs most often. Okay, has the highest frequency. So in this one here, 9 occurs twice, 14, 15 once, 22 twice, and 30 once. So there can actually be two modes. There's allowed to be two modes. So the mode for data set 1, you would say, is 9 and 22, because 9 and 22 occur the most frequently. Data set 2, we have got all the numbers occur once except for the number 20, which is occurring twice. So therefore the mode would be 20. If all numbers just occur once, then all of the numbers are the mode. Okay, there's no double ups, so everything occurs the same amount of times. So I think that's about all. The median is often used as a measure of centre, and as I said, the interquartile range and the range are used quite a bit when we're talking about the spread of data.